93.9 The River, playing the greatest hits of all time. Darren Bergfeld with you. I have a very special guest in the studio with me today. We're going to talk about the future of South Cape as well as an event that's coming up this Saturday. I'm here with Julian Watkins, the executive director of the PORCH initiative. This is a very new thing to Cape Girardeau, and I'm excited about it because there's a lot to talk about as far as, getting Cape to be a tighter community, a better community, reach out and helping others, and all these things that I talk about because that's my thing. I love being positive and getting people, sharing that love and getting people to talk to each other and communicate, and I feel like that's a big part of how you make a better community. But thanks for joining me.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Yeah. None of us really know what PORCH is at this point. It's just that new. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
So PORCH, it's an initiative that is basically to revive the south side of Cape. PORCH stands for People Organized to Revitalize Community Healing. It's a mouthful, so we're just going to stick with PORCH. And, we're hoping to do that through education initiatives, housing initiatives, and health and wellness. And we think that those three things are key to the foundation of a strong community. So it's really exciting and looking forward to getting out into the community and talking with people.
And those, those elements you mentioned, those are very core elements. It's obvious in front of us that we have problems. There's shootings, there's things going on, and a lot of people are like, oh, I can't believe it's happening again. But what are they doing to change that? Some people just don't realize what it's like on the other side of that coin. There's not an institution that's there that's helping them and telling them this is what you need to pursue to, be able to own your own home, or this is what you're able to pursue to feel confident that you can call an anonymous tip line and report crime in your neighborhood without retribution. I know you're still in the planning stages of everything with this, you and your team, but what do you want to see come out of this in the next, say 6 months or a year or something?
For the future, we really just want this to be a place where people feel safe sitting on their front porch. It's kind of the play on the name because right now it doesn't feel like a safe community, like you said, with the shootings and things that we have going on.
Right.
But people from the outside see that as just being a problem of people from the south side killing each other and not really wanting to deal with it and pushing it aside. And that's the thing about perspective. Like, we all grow up in a certain area and we know exactly what we know, but we don't know anything outside of that.
Sure.
So none of us think that we're doing anything wrong. We all just are doing what's right given our circumstances and given our perspective.
Yeah.
So our initiative is hopefully going to bridge that gap and create a conversation between the south side of Cape and the rest of Cape. And I think the goal pretty much is to give the people of Cape something to care about and to let the people of the south side know that there are people out there that do care.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a huge thing because it's an isolation issue. I grew up in a rural area north of Jackson. It was very opposite of what South Cape is. We look at it and we're like, oh, there's these problems. How can I help? Now you guys will be able to facilitate that and bring people out of their bubble, so to speak, and get them embedded with people in South Cape. Because I don't know if people identify it as, well, it's just there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of that. It's being able to take that person and meet somebody from that neighborhood who wants to make a change too. There's people living down there that would absolutely love for change to happen.
Yep.
But they've got to have people to help them facilitate that and to educate them on how they can empower themselves to rise above it.
Exactly. Regardless of where we come from, we all want the same thing. We all want to be happy. We all want to be healthy. We all want to live in a safe environment. So it's tough for me to really ignore the south side of Cape just because I don't live there or just because I come from a different area. Because at the end of the day, we're all people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a human thing. I know
Absolutely.
You being the head human at Humans of Cape are all about just humanizing government, humanizing our perspective, and just humanizing each other and not treating each other like, where you're from or, what you see outwardly.
Yep.
Because, we're all the same when it
ultimately, improvements in South Cape are improvements for Cape Girardeau. We're a city as a whole. We're one city. We're one heart. And if any part of that city body is in pain, the rest of the body's going to feel it.
Exactly. And it's just about putting out empathy and really realizing what other people are going through and putting yourself in their shoes. But it doesn't stop with empathy. It has to go into creating action and taking steps. I see a lot of people complaining about the problems, but I see very few people offering solutions.
Right.
So, my challenge to people is if you're going to complain about something and if you're going to have a problem, try to help us develop a solution. If we're focused on the problem, then that's what we're going to lead ourselves into.
For sure.
I heard an analogy. If you're skidding on ice and you're going towards the pole, you don't look at the pole, you look to where you need to go to make sure the road's clear ahead. We really have to stop focusing on that pole, stop focusing on the problems, and try to steer ourselves in a proper direction.
I look forward to seeing what you have happen. I look forward to seeing the Porch Initiative grow and foster some new things for South Cape and for the rest of the city.
Yeah, me too.
It's awesome.
So one thing I did want to touch on, February 1st, we are having a community day. It's a conversation that we're having at Shawnee Park Center from 12 to 3. And basically we want people to come out with ideas, with input, and we'll also have a little information on what our initiatives are. But again, we want that to be a conversation back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have activities for the kids, pizza, drinks, and it should be a good time. Really time to have a good conversation.
Free to attend. Come expecting new integrations, new conversations. Come excited to see things happen and come excited to be a part of those things happening.
As much as I love to talk, I'm there just as much to listen on Saturday. So
awesome.
Please come with some ideas. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys there.
Thanks again, Julian.
All right, thank you.
Julian Watkins, Executive Director with the Porch Initiative. Thanks, Julian, for coming in. I hope you can make it Saturday to learn more about this fantastic organization and what their plans are for the future of South Cape. 93.9 The River, we got more tunes coming up. Stick around.